Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 22 rebuild. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the New England Patriots with the new addition of Cole Strange. I know there's a Patriots fans that asked me, there was a Patriots fan that had specifically asked me to do a rebuild. Shout out to them. But I hate to break it to you, the Patriots didn't really have the best draft. I mean, congrats to them for getting Devontae Parker for a 3 and a 5. I think that was actually a pretty solid deal. I don't think you would find someone of his talent in the third or fifth round for a receiver that could start away like him. So that was a good offseason move by you. But a projected third round pick, like I understand he can move in and play guard for Shaq Mason, who ended up going to the Buccaneers. But like, really, dude? 6'6", 301 pounds. It's not the fact that I'm saying he's a bad player. I'm saying the fact that he's a projected third round pick. You could have easily, and I mean easily, swiped this guy in the late second round. And there was so much better on the board. There was George Pickens on the board, Sky Moore, George Watkins. There was so many weapons that you could have given Mac Jones here. Oh, well, we have Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar, Jacoby Myers. Those aren't the top weapons of all time. If you got Mac Jones, George Pickens, or Sky Moore, or George Watson on that board, that would have been a tremendous pick. Or John Mechie in the second round, that would have been a tremendous pick as well. But that was a disappointing draft. Not a disappointing team, though. Overall, it's well-rounded, and it has a lot of very filled-in spaces, especially on the offense. You got your future QB in Mac Jones. Damian Harris is solid, especially whenever he plays the Bills. Devontae Parker, again, was a good offseason move. Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne, I'm not the biggest fans of, but they're not bad players. Jacoby Myers is criminally underrated. Then you got Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith just isn't playing that big of an impact on this team, especially in Madden, and I'm not going to be paying him $15 million a year. So like in every Patriots rebuild, I'm going to end up trading him. Hunter Henry, though, plays a huge part in this team. Trent Brown as well, Mark Andrews, Mike, I think it's pronounced Ononwu. I don't know how you pronounce it exactly. It's an interesting last name, but I'm just going to call him Mike throughout the rebuild. Then Isaiah Wynn here was a first-round pick. Defensively looking into it, we got Christian Barmore, who I thought was a beast in last year's draft. Matthew Judon, who went off this year, Juan Bentley, Tavai, Josh Uche, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't know, or Uche. I don't know how you pronounce that exactly. I'm just going to call him Josh. He usually never does good in simulation. Dev McCourty, Jabril Peppers is here, and they actually intended him to play middle linebackers. So these are my personal rosters. If you want these rosters, check out the link in the description. I'm going to officially move him to middle linebacker whenever I do remake these rosters again. I have to edit some rosters sometimes. So I need to officially move him into middle linebacker. So I'm going to do that now. Jabril Peppers will play our linebacker spot for this rebuild. And I don't know if I want to move into a 4-3 or keep a 3-4. They got Malcolm Butler here, Jonathan Jones, the Green Goblin, Jalen Mills, who was only good for 1 year on the Eagles. And yeah, so specialists, what do we got? I'm not having Ty Montgomery start. I'm having Damian Harris start. And then James White there. Jacoby Myers is definitely going to be in my slot. Malcolm Butler, Josh, I'm going to move up. And Jabril Peppers is going to be my sub linebacker, Juan Bentley, above Adrian Phillips. How much does it cost to cut Adrian Phillips? I would be taking more of a penalty than I would a gain. So I'm not going to worry about that necessarily. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I have not changed the schemes. I have not changed the playbooks. I'm just going to be simulating into the playoffs. So it's now time to get into the midseason mark, actually. Not the playoffs. My bad. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 7-0 top of the division. Patriots playbook is the way to go. Amazing offense and amazing defense. We're going to choose a draft class here, keep auto-generated rookies. I don't need to install Bryce Young or any of the other rookies like I do in every rebuild. So I'm going to rock with this Patriots scheme and playbook because it seems to be pretty godly. Anyways, Dev McCourty I would like back for another year. I'm going to slowly work down his contract as he ages. So it's $12 million a year for 1 year. Then once he regresses, the next season he'll be like $8 million, and then I'll just keep going down. So I'm just going to keep giving him $1 million 1 year deals for not $1 million deals, 1 year deals. My bad. Jabril Peppers they just got on a 1 year deal, so of course I want him back. He's youth, and he is probably the best linebacker, middle linebacker we have. Jacoby Myers, he's my slot guy, and I would much rather keep him than any of the other receivers that I currently have. He resigns. Tavai is honestly not that bad, and it's a dumb cheap deal. So I'm going to keep Tavai here, and he resigns. Everyone else here, I'm just not interested, so I won't worry about them. So apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a 13th 3 win against the Miami Dolphins. We are 12-5, top of the division, and we're in the wild card here to face the 9-8 Cleveland Browns. We're probably going to lose because the Browns are gods in simulation. I mean, they have Deshaun Watson. I don't blame them. Mac Jones is solid other than passing yards. 17th best offense, best defense in the NFL. 3,800 yards, 33 TDs, 7 interceptions. Damian Harris, 9 TDs, 4.3 per carry, 1,300 yards. That's a great season. Devontae Parker, solid. 10 touchdowns for Aguilar, though. Looking at it defensively, Jabril Peppers, 134 tackles for a loss, 19 for Barmore. And I didn't mean to click on that. Sacks is 11.5 for Judon. That's great. Interceptions, 4 for Malcolm Butler, doing his thing. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Devin McCourty, and 1 for Jabril Peppers. Interesting. Okay, so we had a very, very good season. I wish we had a first-round bye, but let's see if we can beat Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns to move on to the divisional round, and we don't. 28-10, unfortunately. I'm going to change up the offensive passing scheme. It says we're 11th in rushing and 22nd in passing, so even though, yes, we did go 12-5, I still believe that the Kansas City's offensive playbook will be dominant, so I'm just going to keep the Patriots' defensive playbook and keep the multiple power run here. And then I'm just going to go with Kansas City's playbook. There it is, Kansas City. I'm going to rock with that, see if that works better for us, because Mac Jones should be having more passing yards than that. So it's not time not to file staff, please. Let me back out. Let me back out, please. Thank you, game. It is now time to move in to the offseason. And the Chargers whoop up on the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. Joey Bosa wins the Super Bowl MVP. And what do we got here? Patriots, Mac Jones wins Rookie of the Year. Technically, he doesn't. Who wins the actual Rookie of the Year? Let's go and see that for the AFC and the NFC. AFC Offensive Rookie of the Year is Kenny Pickett. AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year is George Karlaftis, is I believe how you pronounce it. NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year is Drake London. Yeah, Drake London. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Arnold Obekati, I believe. I don't know how you pronounce it. Arnold, that guy. Anyways, it's now time to see what we got for the roster upgrades. We only have $2.5 million in cap. How? Anyways, offensively, we look the exact same. Defensively, we look, guess what? The exact same, except Devin McCourty did regress a whole development. That development regression should be off completely. So I need to change that, like, immediately. Where is it? Breakout scenarios. Breakout scenarios I'm going to turn off as well, since I'm not going to allow my players to regress. So let's look at the roster and go back and upgrade Devin McCourty back to Superstar Dev, because it would be unfortunate if he was not. And yeah, he didn't even have a bad season. I think he had like 2 interceptions. He shouldn't just lose Superstar Dev. So yeah, we're going to do that. Go change him back to a Superstar Dev player. And let's back out again. So now it is time to see the re-signed players and the retirements. I believe I have already re-signed everyone I wanted to. I believe I stated that in the midseason mark. And yeah, the retirement players, I don't really know who. Maybe Dev McCourty. I don't really expect it though. 2021 retirements, technically 2022. AFC East. No one on our team retires. Roger Saffold and Richie Incognito, 2 offensive linemen retire. Let's go to the players ready to negotiate. Who do we have? 2 guys I already said I didn't want. So what do we have? Cap room is $2.5 million. That's not nearly enough. Let's send into the draft. At the end of the first round, I'm picking up Perry Farmer, wide receiver, 6'4", 230 pounds, out of South Carolina State. So USC. No, South Carolina State, not University of South Carolina. So South Carolina State, hidden depth, only 87 speed, but he has big break tackle and ball carrier vision, but I said whatever, and I got him. He seems like a pretty good pick. Here we are after the draft, and it looks like, wow, Perry he's not even a starting 5, so he must have a low overall. But Kendrick Bourne, not Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar are out of here. I already got the replacement. I don't care if he's not a high overall. He's the replacement, and he's going to replace them whether people like it or not. So, I misclicked that. Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar. $17 million a year is going to Nelson Aguilar. That's stupid. God, I don't want him on my team. Get him off immediately. Where is someone who has the cap room to take these guys? Is there anyone at all? Anyone? Bears are the only team. Give me your second round pick. Does that work? Almost. A second, and I will give you my 5th. Does that work? Cool. Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, and a 5th-round pick gets me the Bears' 2nd-round pick. The Bears, not the Bears. Anyways, Farmer is a 69 overall. Nice. He's going to be the receiver 1. And Jacoby Myers in the slot. And Murray. Who is this guy? Levi Murray. Sure. Defensively, Levi Murray's a rush right end. He's going to start over Wise. And Lawrence Guy. Do I cut him? He's just old. Yeah, I'll just cut Lawrence Guy. Then I'll move Wise over to the right end position. I think, no, not right end, the left end position to replace Lawrence Guy, because Lawrence Guy was just taking up money for me. So he's going to move over to left end, and I'm sure it'll switch him. It does. There it is. Adrian Phillips. Let's see what we got for you. And I'll just bite the bullet. I'll take it. Can I do? Oh, no, I can't cut players that are in 80 overall. My bad. Anyone have an interest in Adrian Phillips, who's super old? Anyone at all? Anyone at all? No. Rams, guess what? You're getting him. Draft picks, I want your 5th-round pick for Adrian Phillips. Can I do that? Thank you. Okay, Adrian Phillips is off the team. Don't have to deal with his cap hit anymore. I have to refresh the roster just so that way the CPU can understand what I'm doing. Farmer, Specialist, Thornton is here. Murray, let's move up. Butler, Bryant. Okay, defensively, Jones, Bryant, Murray is going to move up. He can't move up double. That'd be funny. Warren Bentley. Yeah, I got everything I need. I like everything here. I like the way it's set up. So it's now time to move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we are 3-4, third in the division. What happened? Our defense just suddenly stopped playing. I remember this happening in my last Patriots rebuild, so I do have to switch it up because they just decide that they don't like to play anymore. So let's go to vertical zone run. And then what was the defensive playbook that always worked for me? Let's try Rams. It's just quite infuriating sometimes. Murray, I want you to start because I told you to start, so you better start playing your position. Anyways, Murray, I'm going to move up on the defensive tackle chart too. Just so that way he can get as many reps as he possibly can. And yeah, a little frustrating that the defense just fell off out of nowhere. Let's go to players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have here. Trent Brown, of course I want you back. I need you back for the rest of this rebuild. Don't retire. And he resigns. Devin McCourty, how much money do you want now? You only want $10.5 million instead of $12 million a year, so I'll give you that 1-year deal and slowly work down your contract. Damian Harris has actually been pretty solid for us so far. I mean, he's only had 1 season where I've assessed him, but still, it was good. Jonathan Jones, I would like back. I'll work his contract down as he regresses, but I'll give him a 2-year deal right now. So I'll do that. Devontae Parker. I would have given you a 1 or 2 year deal, but 4 years? No. I'm good. I'll let his contract ride out. I'm not going to trade him. Jake Bailey, sure. I'll resign. He's a punter, whatever. And he resigns. Isaiah Wynn, of course, I want you back. For a franchise left tackle, only $10 million a year. That's definitely a W. Juan Bentley, I would like back as well. That's a pretty solid deal. And he's back. Nick Folk, no. Devon Gotcha, no. Butler, no. N'Keal Harry, no. And yeah, N'Keal Harry, I'm actually just going to trade away because got to get something out of this 1st-round pick, you know? Who actually had interest? The Broncos did? What can I get from the Broncos? Jerry Jeudy. I'm pretty sure I could get Jerry Jeudy if I traded away N'Keal Harry in a 3rd. But I'm not going to do that because people would get mad at me. Draymond Jones would actually be a sick addition. How far would that get me? I need Draymond Jones and someone else with a high cap hit. So that way I can... sure, just give me your 3rd-string QB. Is that... Not even... Oh, it's because the QB costs a lot? Is that the reason? Let's scroll down. Mathis. Where's... Hillard? Sure, give me your halfback. Does that work? Not even close. Can I get rid of N'Keal Harry at all, please? I hope I could. Thornton, Perry Farmer. Let's give away my 3rd-round pick as well. Does this work, please? A 3rd, and I have to give up a 4th. I'd love to do this if this could go through. Yup. N'Keal Harry, a 3rd and a 4 gets me Draymond Jones and some halfback I used because the Broncos could not figure out their cap, and Draymond Jones immediately needs a contract. Guess what? I'm going to give it to him, and he re-signs with us, signs for us for the first time, and that's cool. I'm going to have to refresh the roster so that way the game can recognize him. We're coming off a win to the Packers, too. So Wise is going to be a second string. I'm not really going to keep him for long then. Farmer needs to go up to starter. Specialist. Uche. Draymond Jones is playing rush defensive tackle, which I don't like. But it is what it is, I guess. Got all that. Defensively, Draymond Jones. Wise, I'm going to have to cut because now it's saying, yeah, oh my God. Now I'm going to have to trade away Wise. This is just complicating things for me. It's very frustrating. Wise, they have high interest in you. Can I get my 3rd round pick back? That'd be sick. I just got my 3rd round pick back. So I just trade away a 4th and N'Keal Harry, basically. I mean, yeah, I trade away Wise, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter to me that I traded him away. Jabril Peppers going to start. Got all that. And again, I have to do this all over again. I'm sorry, guys, that you had to painfully watch through all of this. But I'm sure it was interesting with all the trades. Now Murray doesn't even get to start. All right. Draymond Jones is going to play there. Cool. He's going to start over Uche. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, not making the playoffs, going 9-8, coming off a win to the Dolphins. The defense is the problem again. The Rams' defense did not do us any good as we continue to be at the bottom because of it. Ravens, gosh, dude. Why does every playbook just for defense just suck? It's so bad. Tampa Bay, let's just rock with that and see how that goes. So, yeah, they usually make the Super Bowl. Anyways, let's look into the stats and awards to see what we got here. Mac Jones was a beast. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the playoffs. 3rd for league MVP. 5th best offense in the NFL. And the defense was the worst. 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Damian Harris, 12 touchdowns, 4.2 per carry, almost 1,000 yards. Pretty solid season for the average. Jacoby Myers, 103 receptions, 1,500 yards, 9 TDs. That's superstar Dev. Hunter Henry, 12 TDs, 1,000 yards, 98 receptions. That's superstar Dev as well. Perry Farmer, 396 and 936 yards and 8 touchdowns, 69 receptions. Nice. Jabril Peppers, 146 tackles for a loss, 10 for Matthew Judon, sacks. Very underwhelming. Interceptions, 4 for Kyle Duggar, and safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So, anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move in to the offseason. And the Cowboys beat up on the Bengals this time in the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl MVP, and there are no awards here for the New England Patriots. Let's see if there is any dev-ups. Mac Jones should get superstar for sure. So Mac Jones has superstar. Jacoby Myers gets superstar. Farmer only has star dev, but that's fine. He's already a 75 overall. Hunter Henry, I would like to give him superstar. 98 receptions, 12 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. Definitely deserves the superstar dev title, so I'm going to give it to him, and he receives it. Defensively, looking into it, Jonathan Jones gets superstar, so I'm glad I signed him on a 2-year deal. Murray only has star dev, which I'm cool with. And yeah, Cohen, I picked this guy up in the 2nd round in the last draft. But we're going to see if there's anyone else I need to re-sign. I don't think there is. And the players for retirements, we're going to look into that. I don't think I have that much money to spend in free agency either. I mean, I got rid of Nelson Aguilar's contract, but I don't know how much that gives me. $42 million. That gave me a lot of room. A lot of room. AFC East. Tom Brady retires on the Jets and Nick Folk retires. The Jets? Really? A divisional rival. They went 10-7 and stole the division from us too. Stole the division from his former team. Everyone here, I just don't care about. So apart from that, guys, I would say it's now time to move in. It's the free agency. After a huge free agency and spending all of our money, we got Scary Terry and we got Rashawn Gary. That rhymes. And Matthew Judon's going to be replaced, even though he does have a big contract. He only had 5 sacks for us last season. He's an 81 overall. He should be a superstar dev, but I completely just forgot that the regression development was on the first year. And Matthew Judon, I should have given him a superstar, but I'm going to cut him anyways from the team, so it's not really that big of a deal. So anyways, guys, apart from that, it's now time to move into the draft. In the mid-first round, pick 15, I'm picking up defensive back Will Parsons, 6'1" to a 1 out of California, hidden development. He seems like a solid player. Here we are after the draft, as apparently the CPU picked up this guy named Hayward. We're going to put Farmer here. We're going to put Hayward at the 4th string here. We're going to do that. Specialist. Parson is a 72 overall slot player. He could be better than that. Let's look at it defensively. Parson is a 73 overall. And then Judon, how much can I cut you for? Oh, I'll save 3 million in cap. Oh, there's a cap penalty rating for him, so I'm just gonna have to trade him to a team that has cap room to take him in the first place, which is the Eagles. Eagles, I want your 5th round pick, please. Would that work for Judon? Thank you. I just wanted him off my team. Then, speaking of which, we also need to get rid of, guess who? Jonnu Smith, and then I'm going to have to refresh the roster and do this all over again. So, what do we got? Who has high interest in Jonnu Smith? Who had that? Hold up. Chargers, they don't have the cap. What do we got? Giants, they don't have the cap. And does anyone have the cap for him in general? Anyone at all? Eagles do. Sure, ship him off to the Eagles. Give me... Actually, I want a defensive back for me. Do you have Avonte Maddox? Yes, you do. You have Avonte Maddox. I want Avonte Maddox in something else, because Avonte Maddox is 27. I want Avonte Maddox in a 4th, if that would work. Avonte Maddox in a 5th is what's going to do it. Give me a 6 and a 7. There we go. Jonnu Smith for a Avonte Maddox and a 6 and a 7 from the Philadelphia Eagles. And that works for me. And as I said before, I got to refresh this roster. So put Farmer above Thornton, and then put Hayward above Thornton as well. And then defensively looking into it, Parson is here and Avonte Maddox we got, of course. Rashawn Gary is cool. Specialist. There we go. Farmer. Let's get him more reps here. And yeah. So anyways, guys, apart from that, I would say that it is now time to move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark because we are 1-6. Defense, again, is the problem. What the hell do you want me to do? Like, I have no clue. 3-4 under. Do I have to do... I'll do... Shit, dude. This guy's 3-4. And then let's try something else. Should I try Baltimore's playbook and just risk it? Because I have no other options left. Let's see what we got. Carolina, New England. Where is it? Baltimore. Let's just try Baltimore's playbook because they're a boom or a bust. But God, this is so annoying. We have a good team. It's just the game. Like, you really think Tampa Bay's defensive playbook is bad? God, this game is so irritating. Players ready to negotiate. Let's see who we have. We got Hunter Henry. Of course, I want you back. Superstar. Beast on this team. And he resigns. Kyle Duggar, I would like back as well. And he resigns. Mike, I would like back, of course. This is a lot of contracts to pass out here. And he resigns. Devin McCourty, again, 1-year deal. See, I only have to pay him $4 million now because I didn't sign him to a long-term deal, but I still want him back. Josh, I guess we don't have Matthew Judon, but this is kind of expensive for someone who hasn't put up much of anything, but still. Cole Strange, even though it's technically supposed to be a 4 to 5 year deal, I'm still going to just give him a contract so that way I don't have to edit it. Tyquan Thornton, Marcus Jones, Kevin Harris, everyone here I just don't care about. So anyways, guys, it's now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 7-10. The defense sucks again. Who would have thought? Rhymes. Las Vegas Raiders coming off a win. God, this is so irritating. I'm genuinely getting upset. Mac Jones did pretty good. 13th best offense, defense. Worst in the league. Makes no sense. Mac Jones, 1,700 yards, 34 touchdowns, 19 interceptions is unacceptable. Damian Harris, 14 TDs, 4.4 per carry, 1,000 yards. Jacoby Myers, 1,200 yards, 6 TDs. Scary Terry, 9 TDs, 1,100 yards. Hunter Henry, almost 1,000 yards. Well, not really. 927 and 11 touchdowns. Looking at it defensively, Jabril Peppers, 147 tackles for a loss, 21 for Levi Murray. Sacks, 8.5 for Rashawn Gary. Interceptions, 5 for Jabril Peppers. Safeties is 0 defensive touchdowns, is 1 for Avonte Maddox. I don't understand how the defense is the worst in the league. Makes no sense. Let's move into the offseason and get into the final season. And the Packers beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl again. Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl MVP this time. A lot of Cowboys awards, but there are none for the New England Patriots here. I don't think Mac Jones is going to get the X Factor because he did have a lot of interceptions here. So he doesn't. Scary Terry stays the same. Hunter Henry gets Superstar X Factor. Looks like Hayward is a star dev. Looking at it defensively, it looks like we are the exact same. Parson is a star dev as well. And yeah, don't need to worry about anything else here. How much money do we have? We have 34 million. That's surprising. Let's get into the re-sign players here to see who we have. And then once we have this 30 more, we're going to spend this 34 million in free agency. And I don't know what to get, dude. I don't know what you guys expect me to get. The team's already stacked out. Unless there's a god tier middle linebacker, I really don't need anything. AFC East, Devin McCourty retires. Never mind. I need a safety now. So I guess it would be time to look into the players getting to negotiate. So we have, and everyone else here I'm just not worried about, so I'm not going to bother negotiating with them. Let's get into free agency. Here we are after free agency. I got Tyrann Mathieu. He's only 5'9", 190 pounds. I was surprised by that. I honestly thought Tyrann Mathieu was like 6'1" and 215 pounds. He's a lot lighter than I thought, so perfect for free safety, I guess. I'm going to keep Kyle Duggar at strong. Von Miller I got as a right end as well, so it's now time to move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up another defensive back, Julius Goody. He seems all right, 6'3", 184, very slender build. But B catching, B man coverage, C play rec, A kick return, A injury. I thought it was pretty good. Here we are after the draft, as it looks like the CPU picked up this guy named Mann. I don't know, Spencer Mann, right tackle out of Oregon. I didn't pick him. I skipped the draft after the first round. Defensively, what was it Jones? No, Goody. 74 overall, not even bad. It's just he didn't have a development. Vontae Maddox is our number 1 DB. That's kind of sad. And everyone else here is fine. So I'm not even going to look into the specialists. I'm sure they already have it figured out. Let's move into the playoffs because we don't need to resign anyone at the midseason mark. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Colts, 14-3 top of the division. We don't get a first round bye, but still, where was this why is our defense suddenly second? Where was this the other past 2 years? Thank God it finally happened. I was going to be pissed if we didn't make the playoffs, but still. Mac Jones was a god. He probably won't get MVP, though. And second for MVP. Second best offense in the NFL. What do we got defensively? We have second best defense in the NFL. Mac Jones, 5,000 yards, 39 TDs, 4 interceptions. Damian Harris, 17 TDs, 4.4 per carry, 1,200 yards. That's superstar dev in my opinion. Jacoby Myers, 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns. Scary Terry, 6 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Hunter Henry, 1,000 yards, 10 TDs. Looking at it defensively, Jabril Peppers, 105 tackles for a loss, 16 for Draymond Jones, sacks, 23 for Von Miller. Von Miller and Khalil Mack in simulation are broken. Rashawn Gary with 11, Christian Barmore with 7.5, interceptions, 6 for Vontae Maddox. He seems to be a great trade for us. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Vontae Maddox. So, anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to see if we can actually beat the Bengals to move on to the divisional. Please give us one playoff win, for the love of God. And we do it. 38-17 here to face 12-5 Browns, and I'm assuming this is where it ends. So let's see if this is where it ends for us in the divisional round, and it doesn't. 37-34 here to face the 16-1 Kansas City Chiefs. Yikes. That's scary. That's why they had the first seed over us, but let's see if we can beat them in the conference championship to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Kansas City Chiefs as it is 0-0 on both opening drives. Finally, we get on the board. Someone does. They strike back 7-7 in the second quarter, 10-7, 10-14, 17-14 at halftime. We're up. Now they're up. Now they're up by a lot. 23-28. Too chaotic right now. 31-28, neck and neck. 38-28. 38-38. Final seconds of the game. How did we go in overtime with that, bro? We literally were in field goal range. Key moments, overtime alert, skip that. Red zone, skip that. And we're just going to end it like that. Wow. 44-38 in overtime. Huge game by Mac Jones. 115 passer rating. Patrick Mahomes had a better one, but 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. But Mac Jones had significantly more yards. But anyways, it's now time to move into the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl here to face the 12-5 San Francisco 49ers. Good to see. Let's see the roster upgrades, as this is already a successful rebuild. Mac Jones is an X factor, and Jacoby Myers is an X factor. No surprises there. Defensively, Rashawn Gary's an X factor. Von Miller just had 23 sacks in a season, and you're going to tell me he doesn't get X factor. You're smoking some large crack if you think that Rashawn Gary gets 11 sacks and deserves X factor, then Von Miller gets 23.5 sacks and then doesn't get X factor. Okay, Anyways, this is what we got here. Jabril Peppers literally had 146 tackles consistently for like 3 seasons. I'm going to give him Superstar Dev. I don't see why he wouldn't get Superstar Dev, so I'm going to give him that here. Jabril Peppers gets the Superstar Dev. Let's see that officially. And he does. That was the final overlook of the team, guys. So now it's time to get into the Super Bowl to see if we can capitalize on this rebuild and beat the Niners. It's already a successful rebuild, but let's get into it. Here we are against the San Francisco 49ers. They have a 7-0 start. We strike with 3 points. They strike with 3 points back, and we strike with another 3 points. Come on. Let's do something here on offense. Okay, apparently we had a safety. 15-10 now. We have our first lead. 15-13. Weird scores. 22-13. 22-16. 28-16. That might seal it. 31-16. 31-23, and that seals it for us as we're going to win the Super Bowl against the San Francisco 49ers as they're going to lose their 3rd Super Bowl in a row in history. I believe they lost the Ravens in 2013, then they lost the Chiefs in 2019, and now they're going to lose to the Patriots in 2024. So we're going to win this Super Bowl, capitalize on this. Trey Lance does not capitalize for the Niners. Mac Jones, 100 pass rating, 2 touchdowns, 1 reception. Damian Harris didn't really have the best game either, so I don't really know who's going to win the Super Bowl MVP. Any sacks? 3 for Rashawn Gary. He's definitely going to win Super Bowl MVP. So let's go look at that. We definitely have a successful rebuild here. I was getting pretty pissed in years 2 and 3 because of how good our team was, yet the CPU was just like, no, I just don't want you guys to win. But yeah, we're going to look into the Super Bowl MVP here to see what we have. Comment down below which team you'd like me to rebuild next. Cole Strange isn't the most exciting prospect, but we still had a good rebuild here. 2024 season recap. Avonte Maddox wins the Super Bowl MVP. Goes from being a depth player on the Eagles to being a Super Bowl MVP and gets a ring. So this is the overlook of the team, guys. Damian Harris should have superstar development as well. I forgot to give it to him because he's been very consistent with us throughout the entirety of the rebuild. And he had 17 touchdowns this season. So superstar development is going to go to Damian Harris. But yeah, guys. Anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to say, I guess, goodbye to this rebuild. That was poorly worded. But anyways, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.